Welcome to Cali's Take. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so you get the newest content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in. You know, when I think about the Clippers, I always say health is important. You hear me say that a ton of times. And, you know, it seems like this team just really can't catch a break in that area. You know what I'm saying? Health is very important for their success, very important in all ways, shape, or form for any team that's trying to win a championship. Any team that's trying to sustain or become great or become dominant, you have to be on the floor. And here again, another injury, another untimely, injury, for the Clippers. And I might say very unfortunate injury in John Wall, who has an abdominal injury, which is like, and from what I'm hearing, I was reading Yahoo Sports and a couple other sites that you could check out. But from what I'm hearing is he's going to be out at least 2 weeks. Now, of course, that's not that long of a time, of course. But with this team, they need so much chemistry built in so little time. They need everybody there as much as possible. And now you got him out for 2 weeks. You don't know when Paul George is going to be cleared to play. And if he is cleared to play, is he going to ail that hamstring so much is going to hinder his game, from playing at the level you need to see him play at? I mean, it's a lot that goes into that, you know what I'm saying? A whole lot. And when I think about that specifically, you got Kawhi Leonard out there. He's playing pretty good. He's starting to show signs of himself. That dunk he had the other night was definitely awesome. Not gonna lie. I hate the fact they lost to the Nuggets again, but at the same time, the Nuggets are a well-rounded team. They got a lot of scoring all the way around, and if they have to see the Nuggets in the playoffs, it's gonna take a lot to beat them. Even though I believe the Clippers can beat them if they're fully healthy. But at the same time, this team is just ailing, and, injury after injury. It could be little, it could be big. It doesn't matter. Any type of injury with this team that has anybody out for a substantial amount of time is not good. 2 weeks doesn't seem like a long time, but it's a long time for the Clippers because, first of all, they're like 1 game over 500. They barely have a winning record, or 2 games over 500. They barely have a winning record. And the West is so tight. You've got to win a lot of these games just to stay afloat. I mean, the way the West is so tight between, I say number 3 all the way down to like number 8 in the West. I mean, it's so tight. I mean, 1 game can determine a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, the Clippers don't want to find themselves in no play-in tournament type situation, which I don't believe they will. I believe they'll, get right enough to at least, make the playoffs, not the play-in tournament. I think they'll end up being somewhere like a 4th seed or something like that if they can, get themselves going and everything and can try to stay healthy. But it's just one injury after another. I mean, like I said, these injuries pile up when you're trying to build cohesiveness, and, you already got guys on minutes restrictions and everything. And, John Wall wasn't happy about the minutes restriction, but now, he's got an injury that might keep him out a little bit. And here's just another setback for them. And then, like I said, you could look at it as minor setback, but I mean, it's still, a setback regardless of how you look at it. And it's still not getting them to the point where they need to be right now. This part of the season, they need to be playing some of their best basketball. They should be, but like I said, people in and out of the lineup, no consistency, and now on the big man area, they're not getting much consistency out of Zubac, or at least the consistency they were getting in the beginning of the season with him. He's kind of like his flame is kind of dying down a little bit. I mean, they just need all they can. They need everybody on the floor as much as possible because they need assistance from every player. They have to really figure out how to be a good team all the way around, not just a good team through Kawhi Leonard and, Paul George, so they have to be a good team all the way around. The only way to do that is to get contributions from everybody. But the only way for that to happen is for them to be on the floor. And that's the problem with the Clippers. They can't keep everybody on the floor. I don't know what it is, but they have to find a way. And I'm telling you, like, things are not looking good with the Clippers right now in regards to the injury bug and everything. It seems like it's starting to hit them the way it did the last few seasons. And this is just not the season for it to happen because, of course, they're looked at as the ones that, could win the championship. And, they're looked at as the one that, a lot of people see as being in the championship, or at least they did at the beginning of the season, just like I did. But, the Clippers are going to have to just find a way to stay healthy. I mean, that's the only thing I can say. I mean, this is the only team that I can see that, has health problems between different players, at any given time. I mean, Paul George is playing good. Now he got the hamstring. Kawhi Leonard is already, trying to get himself back in rhythm, as much as he can. And, when you think about that, you're still trying to get the other guys acclimated. Then, Luke Kennard has been in and out of the lineup, with his issue. Now John Wall goes out for a few weeks, or at least a few weeks. So, I mean, and then there again, remember, John Wall is that point guard that they've been needing to, be able to anchor their offense and do all those things. And now they can't get chemistry with him the way they should, because now he's out with an injury. But even still, before that, he was coming off the bench because of being on restricted minutes. So it's like they're not really building that rapport with the point guard. They, like I said, guys are in and out of the lineup. Something's going to have to change with this team soon, and if it doesn't, then you're going to see them lose, play Jekyll and Hyde basketball, win one, lose one, win one, lose one. Too much, inconsistency, no real, substantial winning streaks. They're going to have to get, on a winning streak again. And I know it's tough, and, Kawhi is getting there, but, they just need to, get healthy as quickly as possible, because in this Western Conference it's tough. And if your record isn't looking at a certain stature by about 2-3 weeks from now, maybe a month from now, I mean, you can find yourself in a situation where you're fighting to just stay alive in the play-in, what I'm saying, as close as it is in the West right now. So the Clippers definitely got to get healthy as possible based upon where they're sitting, like in the 5th or 6th seed right now, and everybody not being healthy at this point in time in the season. So, the wins, they might come far few in between, but they're going to have to try to find a way to dig deep and, live off their defense, because they got good defense. They got to find more ways to live off their defense rather than their offense, with all these injuries and not having their full, roster out there and everything. They got to find ways. And the only way to do that is to, live on the defensive end and allow your offense, to come after then. Your offense will come as long as you play harder on defense. They're going to have to be more defensive minded and have to grind more on that end of the basketball because of the injuries, and they don't have all their offense intact. So, like I said, I want to see what the Clippers do. But shout out to John Wall. He did have a decent game the other night, against the Nuggets as well. Even though the Clippers didn't come out with the victory, he did show signs of, what they got him there for and everything. But now he's out with the injury. So hopefully, he gets back and gets back pretty soon. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section. Check my other videos if you haven't. And hey, till next time.